One way of understanding that hyperfocus crash cycle is to think about spoon theory, which is the idea that you can estimate how much energy you have available and how much your day will demand from you by thinking about the day in terms of spoons of coffee. That if there's a day that you need to work until midnight, then unless your chronotype is that you perform best in the evening, you're going to need to have a lot of coffee. I personally tend to fall asleep around 9 p.m. normally and wake up around 6 a.m. So if I have to stay up until midnight, I'm going to need a few cups of coffee. And the idea there is to look at our day and think about what are some of the things that use up a lot of energy. It might not be that they take up a lot of time, but they might take up a lot of emotional bandwidth and then require some recovery time afterwards. For me, there are certain meetings that I attend at work that can leave me feeling exhausted, even though they only go for half an hour. But it can feel like I'm battling with people that they're not understanding, and I can find it so frustrating that it's hard to do anything afterwards. So we can anticipate that in advance and, if possible, eliminate those things from our schedule. And if it's not possible to do that, then factor in some recovery time afterwards. Consider that there are some activities that actually give us more spoons, but they often have activation energy, where it takes some time and some energy to actually get moving. For example, I mentioned earlier the importance of social support, that being able to spend time with people who understand you and who you enjoy spending time with can be amazing. But the energy required to do that is not insubstantial. I need to figure out what clothes to wear. I need to figure out how to get the train or drive to the location that we're going to meet. All of that takes energy. But the hope would be that you can find activities that, even though they take some energy initially, exercise is another example. Going for a run takes energy initially, but it gives you more energy by the end. Whereas some activities, they take energy and they don't give it back. And you want to make sure that you have more of the ones that are net energy producers. Concretely use spoon theory is to plan the day the night before. So that's a habit that I have in my evening routine, that I look at what I've got on for my schedule the following day, and I think about whether I have enough rest and recovery built in. And if I don't, then I'll try and reschedule some of the meetings that I might have so that it's not too jam-packed. And it might also be that there's one jam-packed day, and I need to make sure that the day afterwards has more of a lower demand day. Being able to check in throughout the day as well to notice when energy is low. And it's not just physical energy, but also emotional energy. If I'm feeling really annoyed, then it's not helpful for me to go straight into another meeting at that point. I probably should go and have some time on my own to recharge so that I can go back and be in a good place when I'm dealing with people again. Again, going back to the point I made earlier about avoiding certain ways of recharging that can be counterproductive, I find that if I'm on a screen, then I'm not really aware of my body as much. I'm not aware of the signs that I'm getting tired or I'm getting cranky. So it's really helpful to take breaks away from screens. I like to go have my lunch outside and drink a lot of water, so I'm forced to go to the toilet and leave my phone behind. That allows me to have regular check-ins about my energy level throughout the day. The final point here is thinking about boundary setting with your energy. That there will be people who demand that you do certain things, demand spoons from you. And some of them you don't actually have to acquiesce. My 1-month-old son does demand spoons from him, and I can't deny him, but I can deny certain other people who might want me to do a certain thing for them today. They need to get it done by tomorrow, and I don't have to agree to that. And I also don't have to agree to myself if I have a crazy idea. I can set boundaries with myself as well. so that I am looking after my long-term emotional and physical health.